Hey everybody, it's Robert coming to you with another adventure into history, and on this video we're going to be taking a look at this historic cemetery you can see behind me. Now kind of the funny thing is this cemetery is just off the road. You can see the road back there behind me, and I have passed by this cemetery numerous times. We're in Talbot County, Georgia today, and I'm just kind of exploring out on my own today, so I figured today was the day that I check out this cemetery that again, I've passed I don't know how many times. So this cemetery actually looks like it's still in use. Some of these graves over there are from 2020, so just 4 years ago. But we're going to take a look at the older ones. I'm going to start with this grave here. This is a Confederate monument, and this is William W. Baggett. B-A-G-G-E-T-T. I haven't heard that name before in this area. He was in Company C, the 3rd Georgia Cavalry, CSA. And this is probably his wife over here. And it's interesting to see that she has the same styled stone as a Confederate marker. I've seen that before, where there'll be a government issued Confederate marker and then the wife will have a very similar marker. But it's not a Confederate marker. This is Sarah Jane, wife of William W. Baggett. She was born September 10th, 1826, and died March 8th, 1893. Over here on the other side of these burials, there's a field stone, so there's an unmarked grave right here. And there's probably numerous more unmarked graves. I see another rock right over there. So let's have a look inside this plot here. See, there used to be a gate. Someone probably stole it at some time or other. So these are the Culpeppers here, Walter S. and Sarah R. Culpepper. Walter S. died September 21st, 1958, and Sarah died July 17th, 1963. So Culpepper is a name that I've heard before here in Talbot County. Lovey D. Culpepper, born December 2nd, 1878, and died September 10th, 1966. Well, this one is from 1993, Robert Clinton Simlick. These are from, those are also from the 90s. Annie Culpepper died September 2nd, 1994. Barney J. died in 1955, and he's a veteran. We'll clean his grave off, get these sticks off of it. This is Barney J. Hawkins, Georgia, Private 157th Infantry, and he was in World War I. He was born March 26, 1895, and died July 1st, 1955. It looks like we're getting a little bit older. You know, I like to look at the older graves here as we come out from there. This is Betty Jane Hawkins, died September 26th, 1923. Or I'm sorry, was born September 26, 1923, and died January 2nd, 1935. And Ellen N. Biggs, wife of W.H. Culpepper, August 11th, 1847 to October 5th, 1926. Got another Confederate marker here. This is William H. Culpepper. He was in Company C, 3rd Georgia Cavalry as well. This is interesting. This is a poured concrete style of grave marker here that's stamped. It's Roxy E. Culpepper. Oh, it's just an infant. Born July 15th, 1915, died on the same day. Another child here. That's Ellie B. Culpepper, born July 8th, 1886, and died August 8th, 1887. Another child. Arthur G. Culpepper, July 27th, 1877, August 22nd, 1878. I think we walked past some of these over here. Oh, this is very new, 2002 and 2006. Kathleen Dixon Culpepper, June 30th, 1906 to December 15th, 1929. I definitely wanted to take a look at the stamping on this one. Is this another concrete poured stone with the letters stamped into it? Look how the moss is growing in the letter there. So this is, let's see if we can read it. Edward Thomas Culpepper Sr., October 26th, 1910 to April 30th, 19... You know, I can't really, I don't know what that is, 1998? I mean, it's possible. Born 1910. I don't know. It looks older than that to me. But I think it is 19... I don't know. You'll have to check. I'm sure it's on Find a Grave. We can verify. Alright, let's take a look outside of this family plot. There's a really old looking one over here that I want to take a look at. We'll start with this child's grave right here. You can see that it's a marble marker on top of a fieldstone tomb. Sacred to the memory of Julia E. Smith, daughter of William and M.A. Smith, born August 6, 1850, died October 16, 1851. I can't read the epitaph, unfortunately. No pain, no grief, nor, and I can't read that, it's almost smooth there, can reach the precious, is that right? Can reach, no, I don't know. Unfortunately, I can't read it. Rest on, sweet babe, while angels, can't read it. Sorry about that, folks. Hopefully that's recorded somewhere. Maybe check down in the comments and see if anybody has found that epitaph and has put it down in the comments. I just cannot read that one out here today. And then this is the other one that I wanted to take a look at. You can see a footstone there, a headstone here. And interesting to note that the headstone is backwards compared to how we would normally think. You know, normally we come up to a grave and the headstone, or the writing on the headstone, is on this side, whereas on this one it's on what we would usually consider the back of the headstone. Now I've seen that before, and it's usually in these older burials like this one. Sacred to the memory of Martha Perryman, who departed this life the 16th October 1842, aged 75 years. So that one is pretty interesting. The Perryman, you know, we've done video on Perrymans before, so that's another name that's familiar to me. And I don't know how she ties in, but I'm sure that she does. Martha Perryman died 1844, 75 years old. This is an old grave here. For sure that might be the oldest out here. You know, from the look of it, it might be the oldest out here. At least the oldest marked one that's out here. This is Thomas J. Culpepper, born June 25th, 1839, died September 7th, 1868. And Fanny V. Huff, wife of Thomas J. Culpepper, born January 3rd, 1837, and died December 6th, 1910. Look at how the engraving for December is not, it doesn't stick out like the others. That was probably a correction there. So the stonemason had carved something there. Maybe it wasn't right, then came back and carved that. It doesn't look like damage. Looks like it's always been that way. His father and mother. There are lots of unmarked graves out here. There's one there, and there, and there. W.B. Culpepper, February 17th, 1870 to October 23rd, 1935. So isn't it fascinating when we're in old cemeteries like this and you can see the differences in the monuments as time goes by, like the difference between the 1842 monument up there that's got the writing on the back of the headstone, and then versus the other ones that are, you know, 1870s to you know, modern times. It's interesting to see the style changes as the years go by of the monuments. J.D. Ashfield, born August 5th, 1833, died June 10th, 1903. What does that say? A Confederate soldier, true, who wore the gray and fought the blue. A Confederate soldier, true, who wore the gray and fought the blue. A faithful man to home and friends, here waits till his Lord descends. J.D. Ashfield, a Confederate soldier. Never actually seen that epitaph before. And, you know, I've seen a lot of epitaphs. So it's always surprising when I see one that I haven't heard before. Alright, so I think we've got a repair here, or maybe this headstone got broken at some time. So Harriet Francis, wife of J.D. Ashfield, born August 3rd, 1846. And you can see that originally it says died right there, but this headstone has broken and they concreted it back in to this base. Let me see if I can poke around and see if the bottom of this headstone is here somewhere. All right, if it is, it's completely buried and I can't find it. I was hoping maybe they'd left the bottom, you know, propped up or maybe sitting there. Here's another name, Spencer S. Spear, born September 18th, 1863, died June 16th, 1930. And Julia C. Spear, born March 17th, 1887, and died November 12th, 1957. What is this? This is broken stone. I bet that's the broken piece that we were looking for. That's an epitaph that I cannot read on the bottom. Here's a broken headstone right here. We'll see if we can't get a name on it. See how it would have fit together. I think like that. Yeah, there we go. So see if we can't get the last name here. Payne. P-A-Y-N-E, G.W. Payne. Born August 18th, 1834, and died April 24th, 1906. So I would have assumed that this was a child's grave from the small headstone, but it's not. Of course, the concrete marker kind of tells us that too. Different names again. Sally F. Wilson, September 3rd, 1862 to November 2nd, 1930. This is David Harrison Wilson, born December 8th, 1852, died April 24th, 1906. Gone but not forgotten. I like this style of headstone here. And then this is a beautiful, beautiful stone here. I wonder what kind of rock that is. Sarah A. Wilson, born June 1st, 1822, died September 30th, 1888. If this stone dates back to 1888, which, I mean, it looks like it does from the engraving and the marks on it. That's very unique. I've never seen one like that before. So they definitely got a beautiful, unique headstone for her. Got an unmarked grave again, there and there. And I think that the only older graves that we haven't taken a look at, because, you know, we're all about uncovering history here and documenting history. It's going to be these. Last name was Culpepper, but we don't have names for who's buried here, and that's because the headstone is back here, fallen over. N.C. Culpepper, born March 8th, 1852, died August 2nd, 1943. And Julia Brooks, wife of N.C. Culpepper, born May 6th, 1860, died November 28th, 1935. So there they are. This one's unmarked. And we've got Martha Jane Lucas, born September 17th, 1867, died December 22nd, 1936. And then there are more Lucases buried there, relatively new, from the 90s. So this cemetery is really amazing. You know, I've passed by this cemetery for many, many years, never stopped and looked at it, always noticed it, but never stopped and looked at it. And it's really funny sometimes, you know, the stuff that you see the most often, what's right in your face is what you don't go and look at, but can hold just as many interesting stories. So I'm glad I stopped here today, really intrigued by the Perryman grave here, Martha Perryman. Perryman home site is not far up the road, and we're going to stop there in just a second. So we are less than a mile up the road. I actually didn't realize how close this burial site was to the cemetery that we just left. This is the grave of Miss Jane Perryman. Dan and I did a video on this grave several years ago, and we actually uncovered it. It had been lost for many, many years, and we had just about given up hope on finding it when Dan essentially tripped over it. And the headstone was all busted up, flipped over. You guys can go back and I'll try to find that video and link it here so you can watch this video. But she's here. We kind of put the headstone back together, and then here recently someone has cleared this plot right here and marked her grave out. And this is sacred to the memory of Miss Jane. She was married to James, is that right? Yeah, James Perryman. And she was the daughter of, can't read the names right here, but she was daughter of Stories. And we've recently done some videos on the Story graves. Anyway, she died here in 1848, November 3rd, 1848. And she's buried here in this little plot, buried just below where her home was. Her home was right there on the other side of these woods, just right there where the big tall trees are. And she's got a really tragic story. The short version is her husband had decided that he was going to move to Texas in 1848. Land was opening up, and he was going to move out there and take Miss Jane Perryman with him, and she did not want to go. She said that she wasn't going to go. And as the story goes, on the time when the day came for them to load up the stagecoach and leave this house and go to Texas, James Perryman sent someone into the house to go get Miss Jane, and the guy came back out and said she told Mr. Perryman that Miss Jane Perryman wasn't going to go. And the story goes that she was looking out the window on the second floor of this house out into this very spot, and she said that she wasn't going to go. She said, "This is my Texas." And that's what she told the guy who went to go get her. She said, "I'm not going to go. This is my Texas." And when the guy came back out and told James Perryman that they heard a shot, and Miss Jane Perryman had shot herself and killed herself here. And after the fact, James Perryman wound up not leaving, and she was buried here in her Texas, on her land, on the land that she was looking at from the window of this house. So I highly suggest you go back and watch the video where Dan and I were actually able to find the grave. It was purely miracle that we were able to locate it. And I wonder what her connection is to Miss Martha Perryman right up the street. I bet if Dan was here, he could tell us. But that'll have to be another time, because I'm out just exploring myself today. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you next time on another adventure into history.